Wow, this is a lot of people protesting in favor of the Israeli government. I'm not surprised this many people actually came out and protest.
We want to take you to Washington, D.C., a sea of people on the National Mall, all gathering to take part in the March for Israel. Now, tens of thousands came from across the country in support of Israel and against the recent surge of anti-Semitism. This all coming as the Israel-Hamas war enters its sixth week, and there are no signs it will end soon.
The United Nations says there is now just one functioning hospital remaining in northern Gaza. Health workers are struggling to move the wounded and sick. Israel accuses Hamas of positioning a command center under the hospital, something both the militant group and doctors deny. Participants of today.
Okay, if the doctors at least are saying, no, that's not happening, you should rightly believe the doctors because they know what's going on in their hospital.
Today's march are hoping the hostages Hamas has taken are freed immediately.
And we sent our NBC 10's Bianca Beltran to Washington, D.C. to find out what else people are marching for. And Bianca, we know several people are from Boston there.
That's right. Hundreds of people made the trip from all over New England to be here today. And as you mentioned, calling for the release of the hostages is certainly a priority. That's what motivated a lot of people to be here today. But closer to home, tensions over this war between Israel and Hamas have really taken a toll on Jewish communities across the country, especially young people. And we saw many groups of students here today that have been calling for everyone across the country to stand up against growing anti-Semitism as well.
We are proud to be Jewish, and we will stand up against intolerance.
The March for Israel in D.C. began with a focus on the youngest generation of Jewish communities across America, which have been facing rising anti-Semitism since the start of the war between Israel and Hamas. About 200 college students from New England traveled to D.C. to take part in the rally.
A lot of them are dealing with bullying, harassment, intimidation, that, in the name of, I think, free speech. And, it's difficult for Jews to feel like they're being blamed for what's going on in the Middle East.
Standing in the nation's capital, seeing thousands of people from all over the country gathered in support of Israel, Jennifer Weinstock says it's a light in a dark time.
It's hard to find hope these days. It's been a really dark time, and I think for all of us standing here right now, it's just incredibly hopeful to see people who've just put aside their jobs, their families, at any expense to be here and to show their unity and their support for Israel is incredibly uplifting.
She joined more than 1,500 people from the Boston area who traveled to D.C. to call for the release of the more than 200 hostages taken by Hamas during the October 7th terror attack.
What weighed the most is the children. Seeing the children, the kidnapped children, some of them babies. I have kids, young kids myself, and I think about those children in those tunnels away from their parents, not knowing what to do and not knowing what the next hour will bring. That keeps me up at night.
And right now, many of the people who came to attend this rally are heading home, and many praying that the hostages taken by Hamas will soon be able to head home safely as well. And there were many families with young children here today sharing this experience with their families. Thankfully, there were no immediate reports of arrests or other major security issues during the event today. Reporting live in Washington.